Hey guys, it's Jake here with etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the line of progressive dynamics converters. What we're going to start off with is we're going to talk about what an RV converter does so you know why it's very, very important to have one and why it needs to be replaced. So an RV converter is designed to take AC power and convert it into DC power. An inverter is designed to take DC power and turn it into AC power. So AC power is going to be the power coming off the power post at your campsite. Most of your accessories on the inside of your RV or your camper, we're in a horse trailer today, are going to be DC accessories. So accessories that you can use off of your battery because they want you to be able to use all those things while you're out camping without power. You'll see all of our fuses here on the right side. Those are all of our DC accessories. So outlets, the lights in your RV, most of those are going to be DC accessories. These are all of our AC outlets, which are going to be like our air conditioner, our microwave, our refrigerator. Those are all your standard 110 AC accessories. These are all DC. So you need to have a converter whenever you're in your RV and you want to use the power post and not the power from your battery to be able to power all those accessories. You're going to want to have your lights on a majority of the weekend when you're out camping, but you don't want to constantly be using that power from your battery and hope that it's charged in time for you to get back to it. Now we are working with the 4500 series today. You can see that the 4500 series is going to come with Waco connectors, which are these orange tabs here on the side. They make it really, really easy to get those DC accessories attached once you convert it over to this converter. Down here in the bottom, this is going to be the actual converter itself. Up here on the left, you can kind of see this box. This is essentially going to be the same thing as the breaker panel in your house. So you have normal breakers in here. If you trip something in your RV, this is where you come to go to trip it again so that your accessory starts working again. So that's going to be really, really similar to the one in your house. Now when it comes to choosing the correct converter for your application, if you're replacing one in your RV and you want to get the same one, that is very, very easy. You open the door, the sticker on the inside of the door or somewhere on the unit itself should say that it is going to be a 60 amp service. So essentially it's designed to handle 60 amps at the same time before the converter starts to go into the protect itself mode. What you want to do is you want to either match the exact same converter that you have and make sure that you've got the correct size picked out. It's pretty easy actually to figure that out because the size is going to pretty well match the amperage. If you go down in amperage, the units can tend to get a little smaller. So check the size first and then make sure that the amperage matches. If you're having trouble in your RV with stuff constantly blowing the service, you can move up, recommended by Progressive Dynamics, only 10 amps. So we have a 60 amp here. If we had issues with, we turn all of our lights on, we're trying to run the microwave and other accessories at the same time, maybe you try to blow dry your hair and you keep popping the service, you can move up 10 amps. So we could move up to a 70 amp service so we're not constantly blowing the machine. If you're building your own trailer and you're wanting to add a converter, that's where it gets a little bit trickier of what size that you're going to need for it, because you don't want to necessarily go with a higher amperage converter because your wires might not be big enough to be able to have that power draw going through it. So that's kind of where that 10 amp rule comes from, is that you don't want to overwork the wiring in your trailer because the manufacturer of your trailer and the converter itself has kind of worked together to figure out what's the right one for your setup. Going up 10 amps is really not a huge deal, so that's why they say that's okay. But if you're starting from scratch, there's an equation that you can do, and essentially what it is it's going to be a percentage of the total amp draw. That is how you get that recommended, say, 60 amp service that you're going to need for all your accessories. You have to add up the total amp draw from all of your accessories if you're to turn them all on at the same time, and then you have to do a percentage of, say, the first 20 amps and then a percentage of the second 20 amps and then so on and so forth. You can find that equation online. All converter manufacturers will use that exact same equation to figure out what is the right converter for your trailer. So you can do that yourself to figure out what is the correct converter for the trailer that you're building. Now these units are called all-in-one converters because they're going to have your AC power, your DC power, and then also a charge wizard incorporated into all of them. And that charge wizard is essentially designed to charge whatever type of batteries you have. This particular unit here is designed to charge lead acid and lithium. There's a little switch on the inside of our panel here that you can switch for lithium or switch for lead acid, and you will want to be sure to do that to match the batteries that you have, because if you have lithium batteries and it's in lead acid mode, it's not going to charge the batteries at all. And if you have lead acid batteries and you have it in lithium mode, you could potentially damage your batteries because it's a higher charge rate. Lithium batteries require 14.6 charging to be able to get through the computer in the lithium battery to get the appropriate charge for it, and lead acid batteries are going to require 13.6 volts. So you see how it kind of differs there? That's what that mode is there for. You just change it for the correct batteries that you have. Now the nice part about that charge wizard that's incorporated in here is it's actually going to have 4 different modes. So you're going to have boost mode, which is when your battery is really dead. You'll have normal mode, which is just a normal weekend camping. You're using battery power, it's replacing it. You'll have storage mode, so if you have your camper stored in a site, it's going to keep track of your battery to make sure that it's maintaining that percentage that you want. And then you're going to have equalization mode. The equalization mode is really there just to protect the battery. So if your battery is sitting there for long periods of time and you have it plugged in, what it's designed to do is it's designed to keep the stuff inside of your battery energized so that it keeps your battery thinking that it's being used and that you're replenishing it, because batteries don't like to sit stagnant and they don't like to be overcharged. So if you stayed in that normal mode, you could potentially overcharge your battery. If you've seen like acid buildup on your terminals, that's probably what's happening. That is what this is designed to prevent. That equalization mode will essentially charge up the materials on the inside of the battery to think the battery is being charged, but then it'll let go, drop it down to 13.2 volts, and that'll help to deplete a little bit of the battery, and then it'll boost it back up. And it just essentially does that to keep your battery charged and to keep it healthy. So this has been known to, the charge wizard itself has been known to help your batteries last a lot longer. Some people have gotten up to 15 years on a charge wizard just because it's taking care of their batteries. So whether you're replacing your converter or you're adding one to your new trailer build, hopefully this video helped you decide whether or not one of the progressive dynamics converters is right for you.